We're one of the Epiphany Farms restaurants here. This is our chicken. This chicken has been brined for about 12 hours. And so now it's ready to get broken down and then smoked for the entree here. These chickens are raised on pasture. They spend about 3 weeks in the brooder and then 4 weeks in the field. After that, they get slaughtered at a USDA-inspected facility just north of here, and then we get them in on weekly delivery to Old Bank. The issue with pastured poultry and the restaurant operation is that we really only have about 6 months to raise all of our birds on pasture. So that means that we need to calculate the poultry usage for the year, and then we have to have production goals that can meet that so that we don't run out of chicken come February and March. We raised 3,800 birds this year, and it's been working really well. This is, I think, our 7th season raising broiler chickens. So this is a pretty standard chicken. I believe it's called a Ross Cross. I'm gonna go ahead and get into breaking it down. You really need to go at it with a nice small knife. This is a 6-inch petty, nice and sharp. In this case, this is another knife I like to use, which is like an Asian style boning knife. Either one of these knives work, but you have to go at it with a sharp knife and a clean edge. And like always, you know, if I'm only doing a few birds here, but if I was doing a lot of birds, I'd want to work over ice and make sure that the protein stays really cold the entire time. First thing that I like to do is I like to start at the wing joints, right here, and then separate the wing. I then turn the bird around, and I'm going to find the wishbone, and I'm going to come in and cut right down on the wishbone on both sides. And then I'm going to move the breast skin away, come to the top of the wishbone, and then insert my fingers there, the top of the wishbone, break it away from the breastplate, and then pull this out. You don't want to leave too much meat on this. You want to get this out so you can get the entire breast meat out, and then this would then go into stock or juice or something like that. Then I slide over and move to the legs. I pop the leg out of the joint and follow that down. On the back right here is what we call the oyster. It's one of my favorite parts of the chicken. And so you're gonna come in with your knife and make sure that you get the entire oyster out. You can kind of stick your finger down there to release it, and then through the joint. And when you get on the other side of the joint, you can kind of just pull the meat off and then release that so you get a nice clean thigh cut. We'll then smoke this whole, and then on pickup we'll break it down and then plate it. But that's it for that thigh. Repeat that process on the other side. Once you get on that side of it, then that pulls. And I like to just trim it and clean up the skin at this stage so that I'm ready to go. There's a lot of different ways to attack the breast, and in this case it's going to be an airline breast because it has this part attached. But what I like to do is I like to go all the way through, just sliding right to the side of the breastplate, and then I'll actually turn it around again and then go along this bone down to this joint, and then I peel the breast meat down around. Lay it on my cutting board, and then I will trim it really nice, just like that, so it's a nice shape. Come back down the breastplate on the other side. There's all this meat right here that was in the wishbone area that we're able to get and keep attached to the breast. Same exact thing, following that front bone down, releasing the joint, and you're home free on removing the breast meat. Fix the skin, trim the skin up, and then the bottom part of the breast again, so it's clean. These will get smoked, and then we actually hot hold them in the immersion circulator for a pickup. We sear a la plancha, and then it gets served with a loaded baked potato, seasonal farm veg, and a homemade chicken juice. Then we take the carcass here, we'll wash this, break it down and put it into either chicken jus, or we'll also use this for our stocks here at the Old Bank. A couple other things about this that most people don't realize. You can get a little bit crazy here and you can get all this meat, but I don't really worry too much because it doesn't really fit on a portion. And then on top of that, you want to have some meat on our stock so we can make more of a broth. You're keeping in mind that this collagen here, actually this is one of my favorite cuts of chicken. I just take that back piece off the breastplate, and then I'll actually skewer that and roast it over our hardwood charcoal, and it's delicious. It has one of the best textures when this cooks down for about 10 or 15 minutes over hardwood charcoal. Keep in mind that if you brine your birds, you want to keep your salt content to a point where you season the meat, but you don't want to over brine the carcass, because otherwise the carcass will turn your jus and your stocks too salty. And so you just got to be careful that you're not getting too much salt in your stock. So, cool, that's it.